Hi, and thanks so much for joining me. Today we are talking all about Dior. If you'd like to see that, please keep watching. Welcome to another brand spotlight. This is when I focus on one brand. I take all the items that I have from that brand, try them on, and give you little mini reviews because I've had these for a while, at least most of them for a while, and I can give you my recommendations and the things that have worked really well for me. So let's go ahead to the try on. I have on the Color Science 3-in-1 right under my eyes. That's why it looks probably a little bit brighter. I also have the Unseen Sunscreen. I've been going to this for my daily SPF lately, SPF 40. So it does have a nice primer texture to it already. I thought we'd go in with this first. It is the Air Flash Radiance Mist. This one is in 002. It comes in different shades. So this is for medium to dark skin tones, although I don't even know if I'm really in that range right now because I'm so much lighter than I usually am. But this is a primer and a setting spray. I think I've seen most people use this as a setting spray. I thought we'd use it as a primer and see how it works. We'll also use it as a setting spray. So I'm just covering my earrings here because I don't want to spray them with this because it is like there's some color to it. Let's see, can you see the color that comes out? Yeah, that's a little bit deep for me, but we're just gonna go in lightly with a quick little spray. So I did feel it hit my face this time. Sometimes air just comes out, but I sprayed it on my hand first, and there really is nothing, like, I can't see anything. So we'll see if that does anything. Like I said, we will also set with it. First thing we'll go in with is the Forever Skin Glow. This one's in 4N, and this is a really beautiful formula. I have said it before, I don't love foundation, although this I have to say is too deep for me right now. So what we're gonna do is we're going to just apply it kind of, if you've seen it before where you use two different foundations, a lighter one in the middle, a deeper one on the outside. I'm just gonna apply it to the exterior so you can see the coverage. Now you do have some, I don't know what this is, more melasma or something, or I don't know if it's older acne scarring, who knows, but it's like I have natural contour here. But we're gonna go ahead and just even that out. And you can see what it looks like on, because it does match the, like my forehead pretty well, and that little discolored area right there. It's got a little bit of peach to it, but I want to go really lightly because it's too deep. At the time I bought it, it wasn't, but it has a very beautiful skin-like quality. Even though it says glow, I get a little bit worried that it's going to look shiny or glossy or sparkly, but this doesn't have any of that. It just is very much a nice skin-like finish. So there it is on the skin. I don't want to go too far in. I did that a mistake the first time I filmed this video. Oh yes. So here's half and half. This is the third time I'm filming this. So as you know, I love to refilm if there's something I'm not happy with. So here we are for the third time. Okay, so we're gonna go in on this side as well. Just the same thing. And I don't know if it's because my hair covers this side, but it's a little bit lighter on this side. So you can see the difference in color. Yeah, that it's a little bit too deep. So if I were tan right now, then this would be a great color match, but I'm not. So I would go more fair than this. So we're just gonna do that for now. Just keep it on the exterior. Okay, we'll put some on my neck just for fun. I don't usually like doing that, but I have a little extra on my brush. We're gonna go in next with the Forever Skin Corrector. This is in 3WP. I did a rundown of the latest concealers that came out at the time. This was one of them. If you like the Giorgio Armani concealer, you won't like this one. I think that this is much heavier. It's like the opposite of that one. It's heavier, it's creamier. Yeah, it's just such a different concealer. It's a little bit heavy for me. I think if you have dry skin, you might really like this though. So I'm just going to go under the eye. It's going to be darker, you'll see. But it does have a peachy tone. I believe the P stands for peach, warm peach, WP. So you can see it does a little bit of color correcting, which is why I wanted to pick it up for this section right here. We'll do half and half again so you can see. And this actually isn't bad. This is not normally how I do foundation, but I just did foundation on the exterior and I'm concealing right where I need it, just spot concealing, and then I'll leave the rest of the skin bare. And see, even just spot correcting, like it made my skin so much deeper on this side versus this side with no makeup. And then really when I go in with powder, that's kind of what brings it all together. It's pretty good. I mean, it's a pretty good concealer. I just don't wear it because it's just a little bit heavier than what I like. The Hourglass one dries down a little bit better for this specific area. But like I said, depending on your skin needs. Someone else chimed in and said they would actually rank these concealers exactly opposite, but they had dry skin, so I can see how that would happen. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish concealing and powder. I'll be right back. I powdered with Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish in 1 and also the Chanticleer Hummingbird powder. I went ahead and also used the bronzer from Charlotte Tilbury. Hopefully it doesn't look as, it looked kind of red the last video I made about it, so I used it again just so you could see. I thought I'd show you that in case you were still considering which one to pick up because the foundation is a little bit deeper. So this would be like a more summer version of my skin. Next, we're going to go in with eyebrows. Now, I rely on Dior brow products every single day. Oh, but before we do that, I do want to show you there's a pump on the foundation I forgot to mention. It's got SPF 35. So if you were wondering about that, it's a glass bottle though, so it's a little heavier. And I always forget to show the applicator on this is very like substantial. So I don't use it to apply directly to my face. But if you like that kind of applicator, then you'll like that. I just pat it on my hand, as you could see, and use the sponge, the beauty blender. I feel like I can control the amount a little bit better that way. We're going to go in with the brows. Okay, this is not Dior, but I just use this every single day of my life. It's the Wonder Brow. It quickly allows me to just set down a shape for my brow without having to spend too much time here. This has taken me a while to learn how to do though, so it did not look like this the first time I used this product. It's a little bit of a learning curve to be able to figure out how much product to apply and to make sure it's not too thick here in the front. The trick is to not let it set before you go in with the Dior product. So Dior Pump and Brow 002. Want to make sure you get in and break up the Wonder Brow a little bit and make sure there's not too much material on the actual applicator either, or else you could run into a little bit of an issue with too much. This brow product gets a little bit better with time. When it's brand new, it's a little bit too liquidy. I mean, it's not liquidy, but you know what I mean. When it dries out, it's a little bit better, easier to work with. Then I take this Dior pencil 002, the brow styler, and I'll go in with the spoolie just to make sure I'm not making a complete disaster of my brows. But this does a nice job of separating brows and getting them unclumpy if you've accidentally put too much on. Since I'm talking this through, I'm doing one brow at a time. I think typically I do like one and one, one and one. I think I go back and forth, but today, just because I'm trying to explain it, I think that's why I'm doing one at a time. What I like about the gel is the hold is stronger than most higher end brow products. They tend to be really gentle hold, which if you have fine hair, I think works really well, but I have coarse hair, not too much of it. So one brow being out of place makes a big difference, and one brow hair missing will make a huge hole in my eyebrows. So that's why I like that one, because it controls them really well. The closest thing is the Glacier Boy Brow. That one is a little bit thicker though. I like this one better. So just repeat on this side. I do start from here, but if you're starting with this product, you might want to just start here first and get some of the excess off before you figure out how much pressure to apply in terms of how much it will deposit. Now here is where I have to cheat a little bit because my brow kind of sags a little bit here, so I've got to go a little bit above the line. And yeah, if there's going to be something wrong with my brows, it's going to happen right here. One other thing you can do with this gel is you can, ooh, there's a lot more on there. This must be a newer one. I have lots of backups of these, but you can go back brush it like this to get the brows away from your face, which I like. It gives a little bit more of a natural look than just totally stuck onto your face. So that's what I like about this as well. It's more of like a three-dimensional brow gel type product. I mean, I suppose you could do that with any brow gel. Yeah, just the idea of getting them away from my face builds a little bit more like realistic volume, I think. And this is where the pencil comes in really handy, especially right here on the tail, because I think if I do that incorrectly, it sticks out too much. I love both of these colors, actually all of these colors, because they're cool toned. A lot of brown eyebrow products are purpley looking. I don't know if you found that, but I just kind of like, I got really frustrated that there were so many that looked purple, and I don't know why there's so much red in them. Yeah, I like this because it's really, really cool toned. Plus this pencil's really nice too. It's more dry though, so you kind of have to work a little bit to apply it, but that's okay. I think it allows you to be more precise. Like there's a little hole there, so I'll go in and try and fill that in. Okay, now that we have brows in place, these are one of those things I go back to after I start working on my makeup, because if I'm holding my eyebrow in a position that isn't natural, when I look at them after I've relaxed a little bit, they might be uneven, so I'll go back and fix them. So yeah, I don't just stop with brows there. I will continually just reevaluate them as I'm doing my makeup. But we are gonna go in with this palette. So I loved this color, and that's why I bought this palette. And if you compare the colors, and I'll swatch them for you, of course, this one behaves differently than the other ones. This is much creamier, easy to work with. These are a little bit like, I almost want to say drier, but this one doesn't have that quality. So we're gonna go in with this mostly. And I was inspired by the cover of the Ray Morris makeup book, Makeup Masterclass. I'll link it below. It's a really good book. It talks about colors and things like that. I mean, it's very technical, but she has examples of different looks and just the key pieces of each look. So I've always loved the cover, and it reminded me of this shade. So we're going to go straight on the whole lid with this, and so you can see really quickly, deposits color. It's not dry and dropping a bunch of pigment everywhere. It's just such a pretty purple color. And I don't know if I've really seen this, not that I've looked that much for this purpley color, but it's got some warmth to it. And that's why I really was kind of gravitated towards this palette when I started looking at purple palettes. But I'm just taking this number 11 Ray Morris brush, patting it on. You can see there's a bit of red here. So on the exterior, you can see it's like a, what is the word? This reminds me of an orchid color. So when I think of orchid, this is the color I think of. So I'm just patting it on. You can see it's pretty even though it's dark. Like sometimes with dark colors, you get patchiness and it doesn't look even. This is a really nice shade. I'm just gonna buff it out really gently here so you can kind of see what that color looks like in a thinner form. This is really a lot of makeup for me though. Okay, so that's a little bit of that 3-in-1. You know what brush I'm gonna take right now, right? 6.5. Yeah, so you can see how faded out that got. Really beautiful. You can see that red coming through. Now I do have my Charlotte Tilbury Desert Haze sitting right here. This color right here, just as a quick transition here. Yeah, that's nice. In the picture, it's like a cooler brown color that I was looking at, but this is nice and warm. I think it works well. Because you're gonna see on the cheeks, I'm gonna go a little bit warmer. So this will be nice. Oh, this is a Ray Morris 8, number 8. It's nice and tapered, keeps the crease color really concentrated in that area because I have a hard time having crease color go all over the place with my eye shape, so I like to be a little bit more precise there. I will rotate this brush. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do, but that's what I do to kind of make sure I get this inner corner buffed out as well. Really easy. Let's go in with the Charlotte Tilbury, this one. We'll go in with a blue eyeliner. So this is the navy one in Super Blue. I'm gonna go right on the lash line. Really close. Let's tight line with this too. Let's see what happens. Just gonna keep it really just kind of subdued and not so obvious that I've gone in with blue. Yeah, I want to try something other than a black eyeliner here. But I feel like this blue is not obvious blue, but you'll see in a moment the mascara is an obvious blue, so maybe that defeats the purpose, but you can see what this looks like in combination. I don't have any Dior liners. Let me know if that's something I should get. Okay, really just quick little wing. Ooh, I'm gonna do something fun for the waterline in a second here, just recalled. Really, really slight wing, as usual. Yeah, that was really slight, like a teeny tiny little triangle. I'm gonna take this brush, the Ray Morris number 9.1, I love this pencil brush because it's very flexible. We're gonna go and just intensify that just slightly. I'm going to go underneath just the slightest, right here in the corner, really slightly with that same color. We're going in with a Victoria Beckham bronze in the waterline. When I looked at the picture, I thought, I do have something like that. It's so pretty. Okay, I think we'll leave it here for now. Mascara makes a huge difference, so let's see what we can do with that. Let's take the this lightest color here. It has a lot of dimension to it, but you can't really see it in the pan. It's kind of got like a greenish, pinkish, reflective quality to it. Comes across as really pink though. Surratt eyelash curler, I love. Let's take this lilac-y purple. I'm just gonna put that on my eye so it's not so flat. Using my finger here. Just gonna go in like the inner half. Just for something different. Just so it's not super flat. I don't think they did that in this picture, but these do better, like these shimmery colors tend to do better layered rather than just on their own. Now I'm going to go in with the Dior Show Maximizer 3D. I love this because it just builds up volume really quickly, conditions lashes. And then we're going to go in with a mascara that I picked up thinking it was a different shade than I got, but we'll use it. Okay, we are going to go in with the Dior Show Iconic Mascara. I also have the Dior Show Pump and Volume, which I don't love, but I purchased this one because it's brown. I was looking for a brown. This is more like a reddish brown color. So if you're looking for that, not my favorite formula. It's a little too chunky. And then, so I wanted to try a blue, and I thought this was a navy blue, but it's more like, it's a royal blue. It's number 268. Oh, the brown one was 695. So you can see how blue this is. Yeah, that's not what I thought I was ordering. That's been happening to me a lot ordering online. I just am surprised by what actually arrives versus what I thought it was gonna be. So we're gonna go in with the blue. I really wanted a navy, but that's okay. We're just gonna play today. This is a nice formula if you don't like the pump and volume, although it has that really slow high-end mascara build on it. So if you like a little bit more volume more quickly, yeah, I don't know if Dior has something in between. They have the pump and volume, which I just showed you, which is too much. And then this one, the Iconic, which is nice, but I would like a little bit more volume, a little bit more quickly. So this one's nice and feathery if you like that kind of lash look. This is not in the picture, but I thought I would just show you since I have it. Colored mascara like this is something I always want to buy when I see it, but then when I have it, I don't use it. Let me know if you like different colored mascaras. I think it's so pretty in photos, in ads. I don't know about this though. You'll have to let me know what you think. I think that's a lot going on the eye. Pretty. We're gonna do something different though. We're going to go in with this, finally. This is that blush that I picked up from Sephora that came back in stock like really quickly during the sale that I didn't buy on sale. I still have to get in contact with them because I didn't get my discount on it. This is in the shade Coral. I saw the new ones on the Dior site. They had the bronzers and the new eyeshadow palettes and then the blushes, but I think they have shimmer in them. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, I don't like this mirror though. Look at the mirror, it's so fuzzy. I feel like we don't need a mirror if it's gonna be like that. I always thought this was clear based on the pictures because the other Backstage products have the clear cover and you just lift it up with the products there. That is not the case with this. I thought that until I saw Abby Bliss White and she had the pink one and I was like, oh no, it's not clear. I'm trying to figure out if this has a sheen to it though. I don't see any particles in it. So if you have trouble with texture and you're finding that your shimmery blush is accentuating it, that might be something to consider, maybe looking at something that's not as shimmery or avoiding those areas. But if you have a lot of texture here, I can see how that would be a challenge. So there's the blush. It's really pretty. I like it a lot. I wasn't sure what to expect, but apparently everyone else wanted it because it was so hard to get hold of. This is not powdery, although it's not anything like the Chantecaille blush that I recently talked about. That one really isn't powdery. Yeah, this is a very nice blush. I'm glad I picked it up. I don't think I need the pink one, but this one is beautiful. Plus, you know, color correcting. It does a little bit of that when I put it right here. In terms of fixing this corner of my eye, if anything gets like out of whack here when I apply, I just put a little bit in the corner and then I take my beauty blender and I fix it that way. Like in this area. And plus I have like a little dark corner here, so I'll put more here and then I'll just, you know, that's a lot. Okay. And then I will do this and just get in there. Can also clean up here a little bit too. While that's happening, let's go ahead and spray first before we go on the lips, but we're gonna set with this. So we'll see how that looks. So I think you can see it does look a little bit more matte. I feel like this sunscreen really changes the game for me in terms of the way my makeup behaves. So we're gonna go in with this and see if this helps, because I hadn't had luck with this. Just trying to find out like what's the magic of this, because I know people really love it, but I think the people who I know who really love it have dry skin. So that might be why, but with, again, this sunscreen that I'm putting on, it's changing the way my makeup behaves. So we're gonna let that kind of settle in for a minute. I'm gonna go in with a couple lips. I do have the Dior Addict Stellar Shine in 623. This is a great shade if you are my coloring. It doesn't look exciting here, but I'll show you on. Hopefully it'll translate. So there it just evens out my skin tone. So this is like a really nice balmy texture if you've never tried it. Really pretty on. This is the one I received from Mariana Hewitt. If you don't follow her on Instagram, she's beautiful, but she also receives a lot of PR. She's the Sunday Summer Fridays. She started that company, Summer Fridays, but she receives so much PR that she gives it away. So if you follow her on Instagram, I don't know why I got selected. I just randomly got selected, and she said she was sending stuff. So this is one of the items that she sent. So I was really happy to get it because I hadn't tried anything like this before, and this color is really pretty. So if you're looking for something that's like your my coloring and your lip color, natural lip color is like mine, you'll really like this particular color. It's like a really fancy lip balm with a little bit more color than some of the other fancier lip balms that I've tried. But we're gonna go in with something else that I have. So I'm just gonna take my new Wayne Goss Essential Lip Pencil. I'm not gonna fill it in, I'm just going to go right here on the exterior, just to kind of neutralize that just a little bit. Just because I have so much color right here. This is the Dior Addict Stellar Lip Gloss in 629. It's got that lovely peachy tone to it. Here's your applicator. It looks like a little cashew to me. It's got a curve, which is really nice for the bottom lip, but the top lip, it doesn't work so well. I think this is a really pretty lip color for the eye just because there's so much going on with the eye. It's a lot darker than I would normally go. Let's do a quick rundown of everything we just used. The Air Flash Radiance Mist. This is something that I think I get it now because I think it's good for dry skin, because my skin is typically oily and when I was using it just wasn't working well. So if you have dry skin or you're using something like a primer that keeps that oil kind of under control, I think this will work well for you. I do see that it provides radiance when my skin is on the drier side. I don't know how much it really primed my skin, but it did add some hydration. So in that way, it prepped my skin. Let's move along to the foundation. This is a really beautiful, I think it's a long wear. Does it say 24-hour radiant perfection? I don't ever wear makeup for 24 hours, so I don't know about the 24 hours, but I have worn it for a long time. It performs beautifully. It does have SPF 35, so that's a nice amount of SPF. For a foundation, I don't feel it on my skin. That's probably what I like the least about foundation, is when I can feel it and I don't have that sensation. Actually, I did put it down my neck and I rarely do that because I don't like the way it feels. Hopefully my neck's not too white compared to my face. It might be. It does dry down nicely. Then for the concealer, I think, again, if you have dry skin, you will like this. And if you like more of a creamier texture, you'll like this. Eyebrows, these are like holy grail status for me. Dior Show Pump and Brow 002. I love this. And then this pencil is amazing as well, the Brow Styler. I probably bought, I can't even count how many times I've purchased these. Anytime there's a promo or something like that, I will pick them up. I will even pick these up full price when I need them. So I usually will wait for a sale, but those are things I can't wait on if I run out. Moving on to the eyeshadow. This palette is nice for this color. I don't love all the other shades in here. If you want this color, then buy this palette because I don't know if I've seen this. Let me know if you've seen this color somewhere else and you really like the formula, but that is really pretty. So I'm glad I have it just for that color, but these other ones aren't anything really amazing. Moving on to mascara, I love the Dior Show Maximizer 3D. Again, Holy Grail eyelash primer. This one has nice buildup, but it still defines your lashes at the same time, so it doesn't make it too clumpy. Now these mascaras, I'm not a fan of this formula because when it builds up, it's like it gives you volume, but it's not tapered at the end of the eyelash. This one, Dior Show Iconic, is very nice. Not the color I expected, but it's a very nice mascara, but not something that I would go to because it takes me too many coats to get this on. It's nice, but there are nicer mascaras that I've used. Then we've got the Dior Backstage Rosy Glow blush. This is beautiful, so if you wanted it, I would recommend it. Again, it doesn't have the same gel powdery kind of texture that the Chantecaille does, but it's very nice for a powder. I love this Dior Addict Stellar Shine. I love how hydrating this is, really, really hydrating. And then this lip gloss is very pretty. It's one of those harder to find shades, I think, because I'm always looking for a coppery, peachy, those kinds of lip glosses. There is quite a bit of shimmer in here though, so just know that if you're looking at this. Go back to this really quickly as a setting spray. I'm trying to see, like, let's see about the setting. You know what this did? Because my skin is drier, it put a really nice like veil over the top, a nice hydrating veil without being oily. Again, I can see why my friends with dry skin love this, because if I had typically dry skin, I probably would be reaching for this more than I do. But like I said, my skin is being so strange. Like it's not behaving like itself at all. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm trying out different skincare now just to try to address it, like things that are for really, really dehydrated skin. Like that's where I am with skin. If there are things from Dior that you thought I should have based on what I already like, I would love to know what those are, because I would like to explore this brand even more. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever be at a point where I have every single item from a line because that would be a lot of makeup. So if there are things in the Dior line you'd like to know more about, please let me know. I'll research them, see if there's something I might be interested in, and I'd love to consider them. And that is it for today's video. So please take care of each other, stay well. So if you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Well, I'm not gonna film it in all of the products. First, we use this Air Flush Radiance. This is the Air Flush Radiance Air Flush. This one is at least as little powdery. Like I would love a, ouch.